you do meet people from time to time who are extraordinarily disciplined. But most of the time they've got disciplined in exactly this manner. It's through slow incremental improvement.
The only thing you're missing is momentum.
I think a lot of people, they will go from their full-time job, quit, they have very meager savings, and suddenly they're like, this has to work. Well, now you've put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time!
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I am not a morning person. I'm not. But when you start your day with a routine that inspires you consistently, like watching one of these videos, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Jordan Peterson.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Take a bit of a look at yourself and think about what's not so good that you could improve, that you should improve by your own standards, and that you would improve, and set yourself a little goal. Maybe you're not studying at all and you're at university, or maybe you're at work and you've got this stack of paper there, and you haven't looked at that damn stack for like a month, and you know that you should be, and you're bothering yourself at night because you're avoiding that. It's like, maybe think, well, I've avoided that stack of paper completely for 1 month. I'm quite a coward when it comes to whatever snakes might be hidden in that stack of paper. How about tomorrow I just put that stack of paper in front of me on my desk, and I glance through it for 15 seconds. See if I can do that. It's like, well, you set yourself a goal of improvement. It's a humble goal, because really, are you such a coward that the best that you can bloody well manage after a month of avoidance is 15 seconds of exposure to a stack of paper? It could easily be. You've been avoiding it. So you're obviously afraid of it. And so the situation could be that dismal and dire. And you might think, well, geez, it's no balm to my ego. It's not fostering the strength of my ego to recognize in myself someone who could only withstand 15 seconds of exposure to that thing I'm afraid of. And so that's a form of humility too. It's like, there's things you could do to improve, and you know what they are. And there's small steps that you could take, that you might take, that would put you in that direction. And then the question is, are you big enough to take those small steps? Are you capable of grappling with the fact that you're fundamentally flawed to the point where you have to break things down into almost childlike steps in order to manage them? And the answer to that is, yeah, you are. And that's the lot of, I don't know if it's the lot of everyone. Most people have things they avoid, and they're afraid of. So I would say to some degree, it's the lot of everyone. People vary in the degree to which they've conquered that. And you do meet people from time to time who are extraordinarily disciplined. But most of the time they've got disciplined in exactly this manner. It's through slow incremental improvement. And then you challenge yourself. It's like, well, could I do this? That would be better. Then you find out. And then you think, well, is there something slightly larger and more challenging that I could do that would be better? And you try it and you find out. And as you try it and you find out, generally you get better at it, and you can take on larger and larger challenges.
The only thing you're missing is momentum. You've got great ideas that can change maybe the world, but certainly change your life, your family's life, the people around you, your customers. Great ideas. You're doing things for the right reason. You want to serve, you want to help, and you want to make a lot of money. You've got it in you. You have the potential sitting here right in front of you. The only thing you're missing is momentum. Momentum. We need momentum. It's not happening because you're not staying consistent enough on the momentum. It's I think one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs face. It's not a lack of ideas. It's a lack of execution. Consistent execution. Getting started and then consistent execution. And it's why I spend so much time helping, at least attempting to help entrepreneurs believe in themselves more, because that gives you the courage, the permission, the optimism to go and actually take the steps. I was talking to a mastermind group last night. It's a pretty high level group of people who, was invited to be their keynote speaker or special guest, I guess, for the month. And we were talking about YouTube and getting started on YouTube and why YouTube this year, I think, is the #1 strategy that if you are a thought leader, an expert, you have to go in on YouTube. You'll get incredible results for your business. And so I was explaining it and people are like nodding and like, yeah. It's like, okay, but what's the problem? Like, why are you not going to make a video? The problem is people are too concerned about it being perfect. Well, what camera do I use? And what microphone do I use? And what lighting do I use? And guys, I'm sitting here in my car on my phone with no, whatever light, the sun, making videos while my wife is shopping at Costco, right? Can you see the Costco sign? There it is, Costco. We're here at Costco, Nina's shopping, I'm making videos. Let's go. How long have I've been doing this since April 2009? And I'll still make videos. It's not that I disrespect the fancy gear and everything else, but if you're a thought leader, what matters is you teaching people to think like you think. And we get so caught up on things being perfect, having that perfect first step, that we don't do anything at all. That's the problem. You're so worried about having the perfect first step that you don't do anything at all. Meanwhile, your dream slowly dies inside you because you're not feeding it. You're not giving it oxygen. You're not giving it any kind of momentum. Thinking about it alone isn't enough. Thinking about it alone, it might even be a form of torture because you know you're capable of more. You know that you could do it. You know it's a great idea, and yet you don't do enough consistent action on it to actually ever realize it. Meanwhile, you see somebody else. There's somebody else out there with less intent, with less heart, with less passion, with less purpose than you, winning off of your idea because they just did something, because they're out doing it imperfectly, and you're worried about getting the perfect first step. I tell the story of me losing a $40 million deal in my 20s because I was trying to be too perfect. I'm still a recovering perfectionist. I would love everything to be perfect, fully recognizing that that's never going to happen. But having a release schedule forces me to make stuff. Videos have to go up today. A video has to go up today. It has to. So I have to record it. If it's an ideal setting, great. And if it's not an ideal setting, great. I filmed a video recently going through a car wash because a video had to get recorded, and I hope the audio came out well enough for you guys to listen to, and I'm not delaying. Let's go. Great. Let's go make a video as we drive through a car wash. That's going to happen. Because no matter how much of a perfect plan you think you're trying to make at the beginning, as soon as you go out and start to do it, you realize that your planning wasn't perfect at all. You just don't know enough to make a perfect plan. It's the problem. You don't know enough to make a perfect plan. And if you're thinking about, back to YouTube videos, you're going to make YouTube videos, but you're not going to start till you get the lights and the gear and the camera and everything else and learn how to edit and what programs to use. Nothing matters more than recording and putting up a video. You want to do that other stuff in your spare time? Great. But you do that after you actually record a video and post it. And then tomorrow, record another video and post it. And then the next day, record another video and post it with no editing. Just put it up. And then you slowly get better at doing the thing, because momentum is the missing ingredient. So how do we make this practical? How do we take your idea and turn it into something tangible, real, something that you can take action on today? A couple ideas for you. The first is what I call the 2% difference. The 2% difference. The 2% difference is you've got this big, giant idea, which is great. I love it. I mean, the big mission, the big goal is the thing that keeps you motivated, inspired, ready to go to work, happy about your life, right? Like where you're going. You need that big mission. And you have to figure out what's the first 2%. If your goal, back to YouTube, is to have a YouTube channel that's successful and drives traffic and revenue and impact for you, great. What's the first 2%? Of action, not research. Researching a video camera is not 2% action. The first 2% is making your first video. Is it perfect? No, but it's the first 2%. Stop trying to get to 100% before you start. 2%, the first 2%. Go, make, create, whatever that is for you and your business and your goals. If you got a health goal, how much time do you spend researching the perfect diet, researching the perfect fitness plan, researching, and then never doing, like researching how to do squats and push-ups will not help you until you actually do a push-up. The first 2% is to go and do as many push-ups as you can. Can you do 4 push-ups? Great, do 4 push-ups. Will those 4 push-ups lead to massive results for you? Not physically, but mentally, yes. Because you did something, because you've proven to yourself that you are an action taker, that you do something, that you build momentum towards the goal. And then tomorrow you do another 4 push-ups, and then the next day you do 6 push-ups, and the next day maybe you can do 7 push-ups. And all of those little wins stack, that momentum stacks, it builds up. So find the first 2%. Okay, super, super important, and take some kind of action on it. We don't give ourselves credit for reading. Watching this video doesn't count. Reading doesn't count, listening to a podcast doesn't count, researching doesn't count, action, doing something. The 2% difference. The second thing that I give advice on to help you is expect to suck at the beginning. Expect to suck. Expect it to suck. And when you first try something, you don't expect to be great, but you usually don't expect to suck as bad as you suck. In your head, you might be thinking, okay, I can do 10 push-ups. I'm not gonna be able to do 100 push-ups. I'm not gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever. I'm not gonna do that many, but I can do at least 10. And then you do it and you do 4. You don't expect to suck as badly as you actually suck, right? And again, not suck as a human, just you don't have the skill set yet or develop the muscles yet. When you make a YouTube video, you don't expect to be great. You don't expect to be Tony Robbins on your first video. But when you record it and then you watch it back, you don't expect to be as bad as you were, right? You watch it back, it's like, oh my God, I didn't expect to be great, but holy cow, I didn't expect to be this bad either, right? And then that kills momentum. That sucks the air out of it. That, if you have the expectations of being not 100, but being a 10 and you come in at a 4, you don't ever get back and do it again. You don't make another video, you don't do another push-up, you don't take the next step because you expect it to be better than you were. What you need to recognize is your first attempt at something is going to be the worst. That video you just made, those push-ups you just did, will be the worst ones that you ever do. And that if you keep going, you're going to get better. Tomorrow's video will be a little better. And the next video will be a little bit better. Your push-ups will get a little bit better every time, right? By taking the action, you get a little bit better through the process. So the one that you recorded today, the thing you did right now, the first 2%, will be the worst that you ever do. So don't quit on the worst try. You get up and you do it again, get a little bit better tomorrow. So that's why I say expect to suck, expect it to be brutal, expect it, like the fact that you pressed record and you said anything at all and didn't vomit on your phone is a win, right? Expect to suck. And again, it doesn't mean that I expect to suck as a person, you just don't have the skill set yet. And how do you develop the skill set? By practicing, by doing the work, by making another video, right? And then the third thing is to tie your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-belief to the effort. We tend to tie our self-worth to the result. How good of a project did I get? How many push-ups did I do? If I didn't do 10, I feel like a loser, right? Instead, you tie your self-worth to the effort. If you can really embrace those 3 things, you'll start to build massive momentum towards your goals. Number 1, the 2% difference. What's the smallest possible way for you to get started towards your goal? Number 2, expect to suck. Expect the first version of whatever you're doing to just be absolutely terrible. It's amazing. It's the best. And then number 3, tie your self-worth, your self-love, your self-belief to the effort that you're putting in every single day. Do those 3 things. Finally, build some momentum towards the goals, the mission, the dream that you have, because your dream is worthy of it. Your goals are worthy of it. You as a human are worthy of it. You've got this thing that you know you're capable of more, that you know you want to breathe into the world, that's going to serve and help and contribute and build the life for you and your family that you want. It's all possible, but not without momentum. Do those 3 things today, tomorrow, the next day, and it will change your life.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? Put that down in the comments below. When you watch a video and just get inspired, the science says you have a 35% chance of following through. But If you get inspired and then create a plan of action for when, how, and where you are going to take action, your chances of following through jump to 91%, Believe Nation. It's not enough to just watch something. We got to create our plan. And when you commit publicly, that number jumps to 95% of you following through. Let's make that happen. Your biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week, put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. Also, if you want to have more self-love, self-confidence, self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build that habit, to create that muscle. So I've created a 254 series where every day for 254 days, I will send you a video for free to help you shift your confidence and belief forward. The link to join is in the description below.
If you're going to speak effectively, you have to know way more than you're talking about. First of all, you have to treat yourself like you matter. Because if you don't, then you don't take care of yourself and you become vengeful. Oh no, you're okay. You should feel good about yourself. Like, you're fine the way you are. It's like you think, well, that's a calming message for people.
It's something I encourage a lot of entrepreneurs to think about. I think a lot of people, they will go from their full-time job, quit. They have very meager savings. And suddenly they're like, this has to work. Well, now you've put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah.
So either start it while you have a full-time job, do it on the side, and don't tell me you don't have time. You have time. And the second thing is, build up your savings. Your savings are going to give you the runway or the flexibility to try different things. A business is not easy, especially going from 0 to 1. It's pretty hard. And if you're under a time crunch where you have like 2 months of cash left, you're going to start making bad decisions.
Yeah.
If you want another awesome Jordan Peterson video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
If you don't have a goal, you suffer, and then you get cruel and bitter and resentful, and then you start to actively try to make the world a worse place.
Trying new stuff can be painful, can be comfort zone breaking. It should be. It's new, it's variety, it's different.